And good morning, it's Lupe, Classic Hits, 92.7, 95.3. Wake, a new dark comedy produced by the Machias Arts Council Theater, will be performed at UMM on the 18th and 19th, 7 p.m. at Machias Performing Arts Center. Joining us in the Street Beat studio, playwright and director of Wake, Dan Reynolds, along with musician Cindy Gelada. Can I just call you a musician? I know you have a lot of.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm actually just singing in this play, not acting. I'm not an actor, so musician is perfect.
So give us a little background on each of you. You know, how'd you get here?
Sure. Oh, I got here
because of me.
Because of her. Yeah, why don't you go first?
Sure. Okay, so I'm from here originally, back in the day. I haven't lived here in like 20 years. Okay. I moved away to LA. Worked as a musician for a long time. And then, after COVID, everything got turned upside down. He's an artist, I'm a musician. Our whole world dissolved. And so we were sort of just trying to figure out where we're going to land. And I'm from here, my family's from here generations back. Actually, when I told my mom I was on my way here, she was like, "Oh my God, your grandfather used to listen to WQDY. He used to listen to the Red Sox games all the time." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, I have a connection to this radio station.
Nice.
So when we were trying to figure out where to land, I've always loved it here, and I was like, you know what? Like, let's try to build our second chapter here, and it's going really well so far.
Yeah. A lot of people seem to do that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a little bit more on your bio.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it, just music. I did, I was a country musician for a while. When I first went to LA, I had a rock band. Oh. Very dramatic, very Evanescence, very dark, And I still have that dark side that I put into some of my country songs. I sort of call it like a gothic country. I transitioned into country when I met a friend who wanted to start a band called the Podunk Poets, and we were honky-tonk inspired, sort of classic country inspired, and we had a lot of success with that band. Like, for an indie band, we did a lot. We played at Stagecoach. We opened for Casey Musgraves, Merle Haggard, Sturgill Simpson. I actually committed a major faux pas with Sturgill Simpson. I was backstage at Stagecoach, and I saw him, and you're supposed to play it cool when you're backstage. And I was so excited to see Sturgill Simpson. I was like, oh my God, can I have a selfie? And he was so sweet. He let me take a picture. But anyway, so after that project ended, I did a little bit of solo work and traveled, toured in Europe for a little bit. And then had another European tour actually planned for the summer of 2020, and we all know how that worked out. Yeah. And now I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm an artist, living in LA, done a lot of theater, been doing theater since I was a kid. Worked at Los Angeles Opera for a while, did just a bunch of stuff out there. We moved back here and found that there are a ton of artists in this area and a ton of performers, musicians, like great, amazing talent. And we got involved in the Machias Arts Council.
To make friends.
To make some friends.
Arty friends.
Some artsy friends. And they were saying how, there used to be a theater company down there, and there hasn't been one in a long time. And they really wanted someone to start something, and I said, hey, I have a play. So that's kind of what happened. That's kind of how it all started. The ball started rolling. And then we cast the play, which took a while. That was the hardest part, I think, was finding the right people. But it took like a month just to cast it. But I think we have kind of my dream cast for this play. Yeah. Nice. So it
was
worked
worth
out
all the
great.
work.
Yeah.
So tell us what Wake is, what it's about.
Wake
kind of thing.
is about an Irish wake, where the angel of death, the Grim Reaper, the Celtic god of death, and the Irish goddess of death all show up with a banshee to have a drink and have a good time, because that's what they do at Irish wakes. It is a bit more of an adult theme. It's I would say, like, if you feel comfortable at a PG-13 level, you'll be fine. But it's an Irish wake, so there's some drinking. There's I'm not gonna lie, there's a little drinking,
a little bit of drinking, but there is some like heavy subject matter, some strong language. There's talk of suicide, so that is something to be aware of.
They're used to that over there at UMM and Eastport Arts Center.
Yeah,
so they'll be fine.
Yeah,
that's
great.
What inspired the creation of Wake?
How'd you get
started?
We spent in 2018. We traveled. When you say there's going to be a year when you're just going to travel, like that was 2018 for us. We went and we spent about 3 months in Ireland and in the town of Dingle, the town where the play is set. And I wrote it when I was there. I started it there. Actually finished it back here. But yeah, just kind of. Just being in that atmosphere with it's a whole other vibe, but it also resonates. It reminds me a lot of this area, just climate wise and people, fishing village, the kind of thing. It's just the accents are different.
Slightly.
Now, how did the Machias Art Council Theater get involved? Just because you guys came in and
we just kind of started it. Like this is we started the Machias Arts Council Theater, and we want it to be. We're trying to do something different. We're collaborating with Eastport Arts Center and Stage East, and doing it as a kind of a test run for what we plan on doing in the future, where there's all these different theater companies. So you have Stage East up in Eastport, you have us down in Machias, and then you're going to have hopefully something else going on down in Millbridge. They don't have a theater company yet, but I hear rumors that there's people starting something down there. Yeah. And if we each have our own little niche of like what we like, say Machias, we do new plays. Up here they do kind of like classical theater, and then down in Machias they do like children's theater or something like that, or like family friendly or showstoppers or whatever. Then we all produce our plays in those towns, and then we pick them up and rotate them. So we bring the theater to the audience instead of expecting people to drive an hour and a half to Millbridge or all the way up from Millbridge to Eastport.
Which is what we're doing with Wake. It's at the Eastport Arts Center too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can talk about that.
So it's a bit of a test run to
like a local traveling theater companies.
Yeah, we're trying to create a theater scene, to like a different, something new and exciting. So there's stuff going on in the winter, especially because there's a lot going on in the summer, but in the winter. So we're looking for something to do. It's inside. It's inside. Yeah, indoors.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the gods, the angels, the spirits, and how they all come together.
Sure. Well, it's they're all brought together by one magical thing called Guinness. It's delicious. It's got vitamins. It's interesting because it deals with suicide. That's the nature of the funeral of the wake, and it deals with the church's stance on suicide, and it kind of looks at it from after the fact of can someone be cast to hell for mental illness? Like, is that a rational thing? And this is from like angels and God's perspective on that. So
and kind of like the old. So there's like the old Celtic gods talking to the Christian Catholic god. Yeah, so it's an interesting clash of like old culture, as far as in Ireland anyway, like the old gods of Ireland, like the Celtic gods way back in the day, talking to the Catholic aligned gods, and it's just it's like the mythological supernatural side of what happens after death is discussed. And it's I think it's fascinating. I might be biased, but
Thanks. And believe it or not, this is a comedy. This is
it is. It's a dark comedy. It is.
Are there any
Sounds like heavy stuff.
Plato quotes in there at all?
Oh,
he talks a little bit
just
about
only
that.
like 50% of it is Plato quotes.
Oh, there is a Shakespeare quote.
There's a Shakespeare quote.
There is a Shakespeare reference.
Yeah.
So you talked about casting. What else was challenging about putting this play together?
I think just being a new theater company and being a new, a play people haven't heard of before, and something new and exciting. I know a lot of theater fans like to go to like the tried and true Broadway classics and but doing something new and different, and we want to kind of, you know, have the audience feel like a part of it. Like, this is the world premiere of this play. You get to be the first people ever to see that, and also from the cast point of view, like, they have no reference. They're creating these characters. Like, there's no reference of
you know, there's somebody else's.
You can't watch somebody else's performance, right? Yeah, and
it's been fascinating to watch. Like, they're really originating these characters and creating them.
Yeah, it's been great to do.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about Cindy.
Yeah,
her part and what she does, and maybe give us a little sample also.
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Go through it.
So it is an Irish. I don't know if some of your listeners may have been to Ireland and know that, you know, in Ireland, when you're just anywhere, people will just start singing to you, and it's such an integral part of their culture. And I mean, you see the harp on their older flags, and you know, it's really ingrained in who they are. So in the play, we have a handful of Irish songs that kind of happen throughout the play. And it's also a little bit of a preview of our spring musical, Mental, that we're doing. You know, and we'll come back and talk to you then. How about that? But Cindy wrote the music for it. It's amazing. So we just wanted people to get a little feel of Cindy's musical stylings too, to kind of see what's coming.
But it's Irish, singing Irish classic songs in the style that they do, where you just like break out into song. Literally, like, I had to get a refill of prescription while we were living in Dingle, and I went to a doctor's office, and he literally, like, he's sitting there talking to me, and he broke into song in his office. I'm not even kidding, and sang like a whole song. And I was like, fantastic. Anyway, about that prescription.
So you have some music that you're going to play with it, and
I could
whenever you're ready.
Yeah, the part, I'm just going to do a little clip. Not a clip, but I'm just going to sing The Parting Glass, and obviously this play is about death. And this song, we're closing with this song, and we will invite the audience to sing along as well.
Okay.
So if your audience wants to, like, do a little practicing beforehand, they can.
Where can we find the words?
The Parting Glass, it's a traditional Irish song, so if you put The Parting Glass into Spotify and Google, it'll come up.
It's from like the 1800s, I think, or 1700s.
Yeah,
it's an old song.
There's like Hozier version. There's everyone's done a version. Ed Sheeran, yeah.
You can just Google lyrics, yeah.
And here's Cindy Gelada's version.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of a wit to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they are sorry for me, my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they would wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls to me, my lot, that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Little Irish style in there.
Now, is there a little music that goes with that?
So that particular one is going to be a cappella. It's going to be a sing-along one.
No,
but
it was really nice.
Thank you. But I am playing the piano on one of the sing-alongs, and
Okay, yeah, I just wasn't sure if you guys were going to bring in little instruments and stuff?
Not for this one.
Just
no.
a little piano,
Yeah,
We were trying to make it like what it's actually like, where it's just like a sing along.
Yeah, and they don't really have
Yeah.
much. They're just
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
just
people
break out
just-
a song, you're not going to have an instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like you'll be in Ireland at a pub or whatever, just eating dinner, and there'll be no music playing, nothing playing, and just an old dude will just stand up
Yeah.
next to the bar and just start belting out a song as loud as he can
Yeah.
and as drunk as he can. That's fantastic.
I do that at home, but I won't do it in public.
Oh, come on.
And there are, of course, the trad sessions with all the amazing musicians.
Yeah.
But there's already, there's like 11 people in the cast already, so it's a pretty big production already. So a whole big trad session might have been a little harder to pull together.
Yeah. So what should we expect in terms of the atmosphere, the tone of the play?
I mean, it is a comedy. It is a dark comedy, so it has, like I said, it deals with some heavy themes. But it is funny. It's a little
Well,
bawdy.
this is the first time, so it's kind of hard to tell what
This
the
is
audience
the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I do remember
had
the
thought
first
about
tape.
that.
I mean, it's entirely possible people are going to walk out of this play.
It could happen.
It could happen.
It could happen.
For many reasons. But yeah, I think people will have a good time. It'll be feel like the atmosphere feel like you'll feel, even though it's set in somebody's house, it'll feel like you're in a pub a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
So it's kind of like the Irish pub atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So what's the cast and crew doing? How are they preparing? What kind of things do they have to go through?
Yeah, well, we've had a couple months of rehearsal, and it's today is tech day, so we're doing all the technical stuff today to get it all ready.
When you say tech, what do you mean by the tech?
Finishing the sets, getting the sound right, adjusting the lights, and doing all that stuff.
That's
Yeah,
what I figured, but
yeah.
just want to make sure. So what's it like behind the scenes with the cast and crew? Are they
It's
crazy?
been great. It's been
it
great,
really-
and
no, it
honestly,
really
that's part of
has,
it.
yeah.
Like there have been so many people that in the cast that have just become like best friends because of this, and
It feels like a community developed,
Yeah,
for sure. It
yeah.
really, and that was surprising. It was really nice.
And as far as from the Arts Council, perspective on it, like you have 10 to 12, sometimes 15 artists and actors getting together and creating art at every rehearsal. Working and playing and
ad-libbing a little bit.
Yeah, so it's already been worth it. Like it's already been really, really great. Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that there's a lot of like local, like, what do you call it? Like the people who've been around doing it a long time, like the pros.
Yep.
And then there's a few people, this is their first play. And just the energy
good
that
mix,
creates with like the excitement of someone who's doing it for the first time, and the expertise of the people who've been doing it for a long time. It's really interesting. And we've got Dale Doherty, Brian Schuth, like some
You're welcome
Eastport.
to go ahead and name the cast if you want to name the cast and,
do we have
and what they do.
Yeah.
During the play.
Yeah.
And anybody behind the scenes people, if you want to talk about them.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
you can.
Yeah, we got. We have people from all over. Like, I think the furthest south we got is someone from Monica Davis. She comes up from Millbridge.
Oh. Wow.
And then all the way up here, like Cindy was saying, Dale Doherty and Brian Shoes come down from Perry and Eastport.
Where exactly are you guys practicing?
We've been rehearsing in Machias. We had one rehearsal in Eastport, and then next week is all Eastport.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been lucky enough. The University of Maine in Machias has been amazing, letting us use the space there. So we've been lucky enough to be able to rehearse there.
so you could actually rehearse there.
Yeah, which has been really great.
Yeah.
It's helped move it along, I think, for sure. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the cast and crew and who they are and what they do.
Yeah, so Brian Schuth, and actually, if anyone wants to follow us on Instagram, I'm posting their each cast member's picture and who they are and what character they're playing. So it's kind of like get to know the cast and characters.
Okay.
But Brian Schuth is playing the Aaron, the Celtic god of death. And then Jan Murray is playing the Banshee. And Alba Hody Briggs, he's playing Connor, the recently, quote, self-departed. Scott Getchell is playing Father Michael. It's hilarious. Tim Markley, who is actually the chairperson of the Machias Arts Council, he's playing Graham Eaper, who's the Grim Reaper. And he has been such a surprise to me because he has made that character so funny and so good.
It's his first
really
play
good.
ever. Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. The excitement of like the old pros and the new people coming together to create a really great cast, I think. We have Cheryl Dykstra, who is a ballet dancer. She's like performed all over the world. She's playing Moira, the mother of the recently self-departed. Monica Davis is playing Morrigan, the Irish goddess of war and death. It's an interesting cast of characters. Yeah. Dale Doherty is playing Paul, the father of the recently departed. Ava Dre, another newcomer, she's playing Sarah, the widow, and she has made me cry like 4 times. Like,
that's not even with the play, just on her own.
No, she's so good. Yeah, and Alba too. Oh my God, their storyline is just like, it is. There's some heartbreaking moments too, along with the laughs. And Pamela Coggins is playing Tammy, the sister. So there's the family, and then there are the gods, the Banshee, the Celtic god, the Angel of Death. Oh, Dan's playing the Angel of Death. He had to come in last minute. I forgot.
Yeah,
you're the
we had a
Angel of
casting
Death?
issue.
Yeah, we had a different. Yeah, he had to step in last minute, but I think you're killing it actually.
Killing it.
Angel
of Death.
I swear.
Do you have some lines prepared that you can?
I don't.
Oh no.
Yeah. Thanks, Cindy.
Oh no.
Kill you later.
I didn't even. My gob has officially been smacked. That's a line.
That's another person's line.
That's another person's line.
You'll have to come to the show.
What was are you just singing during the show, or you have a part? What?
No, I'm just doing a few songs in the play, and it's funny. I originally wanted to just be like the helper and show up, and Dan's like, no, we gotta have you do a few songs.
I mean, you've heard her sing, so like if you can have that in your play, you're gonna have that.
Yeah.
In your
yeah. But yes, I'm not.
But I didn't know she had some role, where she talked.
No. Yeah, no.
I'm not an actor. I don't have that. I stick to I pick my poison and I stick to it.
Well, wasn't one of the spirits or the gods? Don't they sing or something? None of them.
Not really.
Are they whale maybe?
Banshee whales.
Banshee does.
Banshee,
yes, Banshee has some whales in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought maybe you were going to be.
Oh, no. Oh, right. No. Banshee has a lot of lines in the play. She's a big part of the play. Yeah.
So when you asked about rehearsal process, so we would do, because there is the mortals, like the family and the Catholic priest, and then the immortals. So for a few of the rehearsals, we would split the cast in half and have mortal sessions and immortal sessions, and just do like some improv stuff to kind of like get into the backstory and the history of these characters. And it was fun. Like, as the director, it was really fun to watch, because I got to get like, it was like watching like the behind the scenes or like the deleted scenes from a movie. It was I had them act out. Like, secretly, you just got to watch a 2-hour movie like for free.
Improv.
So what are you hoping the takeaways are from this experience of Wake?
I hope people leave excited about just stuff happening in down East Maine, about in the theater and art and just it's something happening in general, because there is a vibe that something is going on, and it's not just us, it's not just our theater company. Yeah. There's a bunch of musicians. There's lamps over in Lubec. There's the Eastport Arts Center, which so much new stuff is going on there. And I hope people leave from the play just kind of having a good time, having a they call in Ireland a good crack.
CRAIC.
Yeah, not wanting to get involved.
And wanting to get involved, and I would love to see more people turn off auditions, and if you're worried about coming to auditions because you're worried you wouldn't get a part. So far, that hasn't been it. But if you, I want people to be, also just kind of more, mental illness is a thing, and I want to destigmatize that a little bit, and this play does that. I feel like it
makes you think, like maybe
think
about the whole experience of life and death and illness in a little bit of a different way.
And the wake has a double entendre because it's, you know, a wake, an Irish wake, but it's also the wake you leave behind you when you choose to leave the world. You know, it's that you know, and I want people to kind of remember that, like that this affects more than just what you're going through. Yeah, there's a lot of things to take away, I think. Yeah, a lot of aftermath.
Now, as we're wrapping up here, what's the best place to go to get all the information you need if you want to go to the play, if you want to get involved at some point, any of that kind of thing?
Yeah.
MachiasArtsCouncil.org /theater, or you can just go to the main page and click on the theater page, MachiasArtsCouncil.org. You can also follow us. We're posting a bunch of updates on Instagram, both on Machias Arts and on Machias Act. If you notice, Machias Arts Council Theater, very conveniently, Machias Act.
What happened?
And on Facebook as well. So we'll be posting updates. But if you want to get tickets or find out more about the play, MachiasArtsCouncil.org.
All right. Sounds good. Is there anything you guys want to add that maybe I didn't ask?
Well, maybe upcoming shows. So we have
that's right.
In December we're doing a Down East Christmas Carol. So it's going to be called a Christmas shanty. Okay. It's going to be more like modern times, but set in Down East Maine. But the classic Dickens, Christmas Carol story. And we're doing that both in Machias and in Eastport again. So I think I'm not sure the entire dates, but
sound effects.
Sorry, sound effects. Ooh. And then in the spring we're doing a new musical called Mental, which Cindy and I wrote. It takes place in a mental institution, and the reason the main character's there is he believes he's both in a mental institution and both on stage performing in a musical. And hilarity ensues.
We really go with the deep themes. We're like
we like to make light of serious situations.
Yeah. That's also a dark comedy side. But yeah, I wrote the music for that, and I'm really excited about that. There's some fun stuff. Also a more on the teenage to adult side, that one as well.
But the Christmas shanty is going to be very family friendly.
Yeah, the Christmas shanty will be the family show.
All right, so that's in December.
That's in December.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, playwright and director of Wake, Dan Reynolds, along with Cindy Gelada.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
All right, sing us out.
Thank you so much for having Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate you. I don't know.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ba-dum, bum.
Nice.